Welcome to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. So we're working on our dialogue system here, and the goal is to be able to pass any length of string into the dialogue system and have it parse out line by line, and if it's more than 3 lines worth, to go and add more lines. So we've got one line working. It's just that I think if we don't have a space at the end here of our test line, it doesn't like to print the last word. So we have to figure out how to append the last word here. It's doing that because, let's see. So in our while loop here, we're saying we go ahead and increment our text index. We snag the character from that index. And then if it is not a space, maybe we can switch around this stuff. Because I don't like that the first condition is not a space, but I guess that makes sense. So like, if a character, or if a letter or something, if a letter, it's going to go ahead and then snag the word index. That's going to be the index of the first character of the word. We become index grab to true so that on the subsequent letter, we cannot grab a new word index. Then we're going to increment our word character count because we have to check whether or not the current line character count plus the word we would add would be past our character threshold for each line, which is 19 characters. So we go ahead and we increment our line character count. If this can fit on a line, let me see how we do this. Yeah, okay. So this right here is the if it's a space, essentially. So this is why our string is printing if we put a space at the very end, but it's not printing otherwise because we're not doing something here. So if it is a space character, then we know we're at the end of a word. I guess what we could do is put this in an else if. Well, because it would have to be a space for this else if to ever get hit. So I guess we can check else if our text index is greater than, well, no, I don't know what to check here. But if it's a space character, we're going to see if we can add that current word to the line without it surpassing our our threshold. And then if we can add it, we're going to increment our line character count. That doesn't sound right. Oh, because look, we do this. This is wrong. Yeah, this is looking right, where we're incrementing our line character count by the word character count, because we're adding the word. Okay. And then we need to essentially reset this to 0 by the time we increment a line. We don't have the increment line portion set just yet. But what we are missing is we're not appending the last word here. We're not appending the last word that is found in the case that there is a space character. Well, no, we're only doing it if it's a space character. We're not doing it if it ends in a text character. So I think we need to, this would be, because look, we can't just say also append whatever the character piece is to the current string. We can't just say that here because it'll double append it. So like that, what that looks like is like we're saying, oh, you know, and that's why I'm thinking like, oh, we can be very explicit here and say else if the character does match with a space, then we can do this stuff, and then otherwise we can just append the current word to the end. So what this line of code looks like is we're going to go into our pages table, into the page we're on and the line that we're on, and access the string, and we're going to assign it to be itself concatenated with a substring of the word index plus the whole word. So basically just the last word. So now that should be appending it to the string. So now I'm hoping if we have this end without a space, that it would still render the 1, 2, 3 at the end. It does not. Okay, it's doing it if we add the space, but not if we don't. So maybe the other thing we've got to do is line character count, word count. Let me see here. We do a word character count. I don't see where it is. Because if this, you know, let's say we're on... Oh, and you know what? This would get called, because the character is not a match with a space, because it's a character, the else is never getting called. So I guess we can ask here, maybe instead of doing this here, we can say, as a byproduct here, we can say if our text index, the character of our text that we're incrementing on, is equal to the length of our text character. So like if we're on the last character, essentially, we're just going to append the whole word that we just got with the updated word character count. That might work. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 is working. And let's try to put a space here. Oh, it worked. It worked. Yeah, that's it. Without a space, it still works. So we're able to append it, and it doesn't have to end with a space. Hey, Barty. Hey, I am good. How are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we're working on this text dialogue system that we've been working on for like 5 days now. So I am hoping we can kind of finish it. I don't think it's going to be finished today, but we did make a little progress already, which is nice. So look what happens if we put too much text. This is even more text. It isn't Pico 8. It is just Game Boy resolution. So it's got the real Game Boy color resolution. And the game engine is called Love2d. But it is kind of lo-fi like Pico. But we've got like little spells we can cast. Well, we're crashing on there. I don't know what's causing that to crash, and we don't normally crash there. Oh, okay. So no matter how much text we put in there, we're just rendering it on the one line because we are not doing our text, our current line we are on advancement. So we've got to go add that. Now we've got one line. So we need to be able to detect whether or not it goes. Are you talking about to limit the text characters, or what do you to limit what? Yeah, I'm not sure. Like there is a function called like printf, right? That we can give it a limit on the screen and say, hey, don't draw any text past here, and that loops it correctly. It's just that it's hard to tell how many characters can fit on a given 3 lines. Oh yeah, so it is literally. So I'm using a library to resize it, but if we were to go here into the defaults here, I've got this toggle for Game Boy resolution. So if we change the window height to the original Game Boy resolution, it's actually scaling it, so it's like that's how big the pixels really are, but the we're just scaling it so we can see it better. So it's just mimicking the Game Boy. So it's like as far as our game is concerned, the resolution is Game Boy. It's just that we scale it so that it's not so tiny. So as far as the Game Boy is concerned, all the math is done on the tiny, 100 by 160 by 144. But we're just mimicking it. It's not like real. But yeah, it's just supposed to be inspired by. Okay. So we've got this stuff. Hey, thanks. Yeah. It's cool. Like I've got, and you can even check it out like on your phone. We've got a web deployment working, and the touch is working on the web. So if you go to Tashio.dev on your phone, even you can play one of the current builds on the phone using touch for the Game Boy overlay there. So that's one cool thing about this game engine too, is that we can just deploy it to the web and have it work on a smartphone even. So I really like the game engine, especially because we can just deploy to the web like that. Super cool. Okay, so this is working for the current like line 1, right? I think so too. I think it's because making a game, it can be so daunting and scary. I think at least having a limited resolution helps put those boundaries on there so that we can be more creative with the little pieces we do have. So I think it's a good limitation. Yeah, so we need to figure out when we need to increment the line. So it would be right here, right? So if we find a character that is a space, meaning we're about to add the new word onto the current line, if the line character count plus the word character count is smaller than or equal to 19, we can go ahead and add that word. But we need to do something else, because it's like if I don't know, I feel like, well, yeah, we need to ask a question, and we need to say if the line character count plus our word character count is greater than 19, that means if by the time we add the word that we're on to our current line is past the threshold of the line limit, which is 19 characters, then we need to increment the line we are on. So we need to say the line we are on is now the next line. Oh, nice. It's cool. How are you liking Love2d? Is it I mean, I know it's way different than Unreal 4, right? Are you doing any 3D stuff with it? I've seen some people do 3D with Love2d, which is wild, but people can do it. Okay. We also have this word index grabbed gets false so that we can grab another word, which we would need also, and then increment our line character count by the new word amount, which we also need in this case, and then a word character count gets reset. So what we can do is basically just do all of this stuff. So let's see if we increment the line we're on now. So we have more than 19 characters. Yes. Okay, so it didn't parse them right. You know, it shouldn't put this text on this line because this has an S, and then S should fit on the same line. So it should say this is even more text, but that, you know, that's getting all jacked up. So why is it that we're adding the whole word because we increment the line we're on, so it should put it on the next line. Let me see. Okay, nice. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I'm gonna just do 2D until I'm like really confident with 2D, and then I'll maybe branch out. I think ultimately I'd probably want to do it, but the learning curve is so steep that I'm like, I gotta do simple stuff first. Okay, when do we increment this line character count? We're only doing it here. So we need to do this elsewhere, right? We need to... Anytime we add a word, I guess, yeah, we would update it with the current word. But if it's... I guess that's right. And we only append it if adding that next word wouldn't put us off screen. So let's see if this gets printed here this time. It does. Why it shouldn't do that. So if our line character count plus the word character count. Now where are we? We're not even pulling the word character count. Okay, this is wrong. We need to pull the word character count right here. We need to increment it. Because if the character is... Wait a second. Okay, hey, that would be cool. Yeah, Farm Simulator sounds interesting. I've always liked those kind of games. Okay. We do increment the word character count here. Okay, and then we only update the line character count if we find a space or if... Actually... Because, yeah, anytime we would add a word, yeah, we're checking if the current line character count plus the word character count is smaller than or equal to 19. So let's try to shrink this a bit and see, because we shouldn't be printing any extra characters. So it might be off by one error, but that is proving to me that it's more so than that, because we shouldn't be appending the result, because our line character count plus our word character count should be too big. So it's like if... Oh, I think we do need... I think we need to reset our word character count after we find a space. Let's see if that helps us. No? Because ideally, this should be the limit. Like, if we put 12, then no text can go past the 12th character on any given line. And then that looks... oh, maybe that's what's going on. It took out the space. Even. 1, 2, 3, even. So I think what's happening there is... yeah, it's saying 5 characters, 11 characters, 12, 13. And then what... it says 1, 2, 3 even. This is weird. Okay, so I think it's... first of all, we're not counting spaces. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Barty. Appreciate it. You have a good night. I think we're not counting the line character count for a space, which is one issue. We should be incrementing the line character count if we get a space. Yeah, so we need to do that here. But the thing is, yeah, by the time we find a space, we're going to increment the line character count by the space. And then we're going to say if the current line character count... oh. No, okay, so this should be okay. We should be able to say if this is smaller than or equal to the limit there. Because we're going to say the count of the line is now this. Okay, no, this I think it gets a little messy because it's like we're counting... line character count should be the how many characters are currently in the dot string, which this we still don't know. We still don't know how many lines are in the string because we haven't asked whether or not adding the word to the given string would put us over the limit or not. So I think we do have to hold off on that. So I think, if we find a space, we can say, okay, well, if the character count plus the next word is smaller than 12, then we're gonna... okay. And let me just see if we try to add all this again. Okay, and we'll put 12 and we'll see. The thing that's confusing me still is that we're able to print. See, that this should never get the. It should never say the without. Because the whole point of us asking this question is to prevent that from happening. But it still happens. So if space is found, then we're going to add... yeah, this is just so wrong. Okay. If a letter is found, we're going to count how many word characters we find. And if we're not already having grabbed the word index, we're going to go ahead and grab the word index, become grabbed, and then we're going to go to the next character, and if we get the next character and it is a letter, we're going to increment that character count. Okay. And then by the time we find a space, we're checking if the line character count... see, so right here, we don't increment our line character count here, which is the error. We need to increment the line character count for as many words we have, but this is a little strange. Because, okay, yeah. how can I think of this? Because we're counting, I guess, yeah, we're counting the word characters but not the line characters, because we don't know if we're going to add this word to the current line. But in order to ask this question, we need to know what is our current line character count plus our word character count. So at this point, line character count is 0 because we initialize it up here to 0. Oh, self.line, yeah, self.line character count. Self.line character count. And then, so if we have 0 characters in our line, meaning we have found a space and we haven't officially added any of that word to our current line, then we're going to see if the line character count, which is 0, plus our word character count, which if we do an ABC string, word character count would be 3. We're seeing if that is smaller than or equal to 12, which would be the line limit threshold. If so, we append that word, reset the word count, update our line character count, which would be updated. Yeah. So this is still wrong. Like, I don't get, if we say, if we're to, we shouldn't be appending to the string like we are here. This is weird. Okay. Okay. So the fact that did anything is like, it must be at this point, that's where it's doing this insertion. Yeah. Okay. So we don't want to get there. We do want to catch this case, but we have to worry about that later. So if we put this back on, and now we say, okay, well, this should print nothing. Okay. And then if we were to put this at like line 12 or something, it should print up to 12 characters worth, and then anything that doesn't fit. See, that's still wrong. I'm trying to see if we shrink it, what happens. See, I did not think this would happen. So why are you cool with... If we give it a string of 5, it prints a whole bunch of stuff. You know what? I think... Oh man, I think we did the same mistake. This is a local variable or a global variable. We need to be checking all this stuff with self. So every one of these locals are going to get switched to a self dot whatever. And then let's just do this. Okay, this could fix it. It is particularly screwing us up because we have 2 signpost instances on this given page. So we have had that error in the past, and I did not learn my lesson. So word char count gets replaced with self dot word char count. Okay. And then we also need word index, I believe. Okay. Let's see that. So we're checking for a threshold of a 5-character limit. Sub, it didn't like the substring. Self.word index. Okay. We'll see, we'll see. Still wrong. Shit. Okay, let me just test. You know, if we take this out, we should get nothing. Okay. So for some reason, our line character count is not getting set properly. So we start our line character count at 0. And then we go through and we say, okay, if our line character count plus our word character count, yeah, would put us... Oh, this is smaller than... Okay, no, okay, damn it. This is working, this is working. Because if it's smaller than the limit, well, then we'd want to add it to the current string. So if this, if how many we have in our line plus how many we have in the next word would put us smaller than 5. Okay, so let's... Then we would actually like append that word. Let's see the... Okay, smaller than or equal to. Okay, so now if we give it a 4-character string here, it adds all of them. Why is it adding all of them? We reset this. We update that. Oh, because this is the total line limit. We're resetting it every word. We don't want to reset... Well... No, yeah, we're just increasing it. This should work. Because if we don't do this, would that mean we stop printing stuff? No. I don't get why this is happening. You know, if adding the word to our current line count would make us fit on the line, we're going to append that word. So smaller than 5 we would go. Okay, so look, let's do this smaller than 3. So we should not add the word if it's smaller than 3. Okay. And then if we put 4, it would still not fit it. Oh, it does. It'll put the 4 because we put equal to. So if we were to put 5 as the limit in here, we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We put 5 in there. It shouldn't print because it can't fit on the line. Okay, cool. And then if we put it, if we're basically trying to get the this to not print. See, why is the this printing? Because it'll stop. We'll say if it's smaller than or equal to 4 characters, go ahead and add it. But the first character is not greater than 4, so we can't add it. So, oh, I think we just need to redo this. Okay. So we update our line character count with the word we just added, so that next time we find a space character to go insert the word, we see if it's bigger than that threshold. So let's see. We should see nothing here. And then if we give it 5, we should see only the first word on the first line. Shit, man. Why? It means that we're adding this. We're appending the next word regardless of this word character count. Let's see if we give ourselves a bigger second word there. Does that only print the first word? It does. Okay. So it's counting. It's not counting the total line character correctly. Line character count gets set to 0, and we increment our line character count by whatever the word character count is after we assign it to 0, which is wrong. Okay, so now that we've got that, we should be able to put it back to 19, and we shouldn't see anything on a line that doesn't fit on 19. Shoot, man. Okay, less than 10. Okay. What about 12? Because we could be off. We could be an off by 1 error. Okay, so that's keeping it. So maybe less than 19 would fix our error. I'm just looking for this to not get printed, but it is still getting printed. So I think we're not. We need to account for, we're accounting for a word character count, but we're not accounting for the space that we just found. So I think we also need to say this plus 1, because we need to account for the space we just added. And now we should not print this. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Smaller than or equal to 19, because 19 characters can fit. Cool. So what happens is there's a 1, 2, 3. There's a 1, 2, 3, and then it looks like there's, 3 more spaces that we can fit. So let's try to get 4, 5, 6 to fit on the given line, and we'll do some testing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that should fit. Cool, it does fit. And then watch this. If we put 1 more character, it shouldn't fit on that first line, so it would not print it on that first line. Nice. Okay, this is working. So let's go and try to get our other logic, right? So like if adding the word would put us over the character limit, and we want to do, I think, is there a rule in computer science for inclusive upper bound or exclusive lower bound, inclusive upper bound? I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But basically, if adding the word to the current line would put us over the line limit, we need to increment the line we are on. So we're going to say the line we are on is incremented, and then we're basically going to do the same thing where we're going to say go ahead and append the word to the current page and line we're on, and then be able to grab this. Let's account for the space. Actually, I don't think we want the space in this account. But let's just test it. We should see 2 lines of text now. Well, attempt to index on line 80. It didn't like this. Why not? We increment the line we're on. Oh, we might be passing. Okay, let me put a little less words in here, because I think we might. Oh, well. Let's see. I think it's incrementing, well, 297. What? Map declarations. Oh. Hey, it did it? It didn't do the next word. You know, it got the next word on the next line, but it didn't get is. Yeah, it didn't get is. So we need to make sure it can snag that. I guess it would be line character count. This needs to get reset to 0 because there's no characters. Well, actually, it would be set to 0. It would actually be set to just the word character count. Yeah, just the word character count. And then reset our word character count. Yeah. This is, yes, dude, yeah. That is close. That is close. This is even more text now. We can't put a smiley. Yeah, we can. Okay. Oh my. That's almost it. It didn't catch. That's almost it though, look. It isn't doing the last word. It isn't doing the last word for whatever reason. Yeah, it's not catching. It's not catching the last word. If we put a space, it does catch it. Okay, so we're close. Now, how are we doing this? Oh, we took this off. Okay. So if the text index, if the text index is equal to the text length, we're on the last word, therefore we need to add that last word to the string. And then break. Let's try that. Okay, and then let's try to take out the space. So it ends not on a space, and we'll see if it crashes or not. Yes, dude, that's money. That's money. Okay, this is wonderful. Okay, so we have it. I believe we have it. Oh, that's weird. Okay. I don't get why text index is getting really weird. What is text index in here? Okay. Well, this is... I wouldn't expect text index to be so late or slow. Because that's... I thought we were only doing text index in the init. Signpost init. Yeah, text index right here. Self.text index. So why is it in the init and then being modified and then text index is we're using this twice. Okay, this is not right. Text index should be a different value here. Yeah, text index is used in the update, but that is like the text that we're currently printing. Whereas this text index, yeah, see, we have it twice. Here's a text index up here. And then we have we're using it right here. So I guess this is okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's okay if we just like reset it here. We should probably rename it though, but I don't know what to rename it. But what's printing there is the text index of what we're rendering. Okay. And then it cycles through all 58 characters. Well, I don't know why it's 58 characters actually. I guess we can see what we're doing with this self.text index. Max text box character length. Yeah. So we increment it as long as we have room in a text box. Okay. So I think what I'm probably going to do is just comment that out so we don't see that changing because it's not so helpful to us at the moment. Okay. And then we'll check out. Let's see if we can get, this is we got the need to append to next line. But if we're on line 3 going into line 4, we need to actually be on line 1 and increment the page we're on and give us a new page. So we can do that. So that was increment line. This is increment line. Okay. And then by the time we add a line, if the line we're on becomes greater than 3, then we're actually on line 1. And our current page we're on is now getting to be the next page. And we also need all of our initializations. So we need a table. We need like all this stuff, which we'll figure out how to automate better. But here, yeah, if we're going to be on the next page, we're going to increment the page, set our line to 1, and also set all of these 1s should be self.page we are on. So it's basically like if we need a new page, we're going to add a page that we're on, give us a new page that we're on with an empty table, set all of the line numbers to an empty table, set all of the character counts to 19, and then set the strings all empty. So I don't know if this will work. We also need to flush. We would append it to the word we're on, become false. This might work. This might work. We'll see. We have to give ourselves a page that has more text than this, right? And I can't do that. Let's give us a page with more text. So we'll say over here, this should be on page 2 now. Let's see. Okay, did not work. Yeah, we add to the string of the page we're on. The given word that we were going to append to the other page, but we just append it on the new page we're on, which we incremented right here. So if the line we are on becomes 4, yeah, let's see. I did have it set up where if we had more than 2 pages of text that we can like, how do we do it? Is this total line count? Oh, here. Okay, so we have a hard-coded total line count. So if we give ourselves a bit more of a total line count, this is what we still have to factor. We should be able to index the next page, which it did work. It's just that it... Okay. Yeah, so I can hit as if to update the new line count, but let's see, when we press P, current page gets reset. If we're on the last page, we become unpaused, but if P is pressed and we have released the P button, then we reset our text index for printing, and we update our current page. So current page, we're appending to, see how we're appending to... Okay, this does get a little jacked up. We're hard coding it in at pages 1-1. But the page we're on, it should be... Okay. Yeah, it shouldn't be this pages 1. Because if we were to put pages 2, we would get the second page. So it's like we need another variable to keep track of which page is being printed. Page we're on in terms of, yeah, see, this is on page 2 now. So it is advancing the pages, it's just not inserting the correct page that we inserted on. So what happens? Oh, it should be just current page. Current page. So this should just be current page. And then maybe it works. We do have to stop hard coding in the line count. But now that we potentially have our strings populated, we can count not only the character count for each line, but the page count. So look, this is first page. This is on page 2 now. That is awesome. That's huge. That's really cool for us. So let's leave us a little note here. And this is where we'll start tomorrow, I think. We'll say, you know, this needs to be fixed. So to do calculate total line count, which would get us the page length. And then also we also need to calculate the character count for the string. Yeah, this dot character count, we use that to count, what is this? When we're printing it up, we use the character count to make sure which line we're actually rendering the text to. So we need to know how many characters are in the string that we placed. We might be able to just say dot string and then do the number operator to calculate that. But I'll test that out tomorrow. But what we got today was really good. Yeah, super good. Like that's the big thing that's been holding us back here, is just getting these multiple pages. So now, see, this is so nice. Like this is really nice, because if we have a big, like let's say this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say that's one more character. Let's watch how it prints that one more character. So I'm hoping instead of printing it on that first line, it prints it on the next line, because that whole word would fit on the next line. But as it's printing it up, that looks so much better. So like, oh, see, look, even should have been, oh man, see, even should have been able to fit. This is even more text, even shouldn't have been able to print there. Shit. Damn it. Okay, well, I don't get... Okay, well, it's like, I don't know, it's mostly working. We have to do some more tests. It is mostly working. I'm getting a crash when we come out of the HUD, out of the inventory system, when we have a text box triggered. So playstate 242 is crashing there. Yeah, I don't know what exactly is crashing there, but we'll have to fix that bug at some point for sure. Let's leave us a little note for that bug so we don't forget about it, and then yeah, I think if we're in a dialogue system, I think we shouldn't be able to pull up our HUD. So I think what I'll do there is make it so that when we go to trigger our inventory system, we can only do that if we're not paused. That should be an easy fix, but I don't know. Okay, so we say successfully... successfully rendering multi-page in dialogue system. Cool. That's big. That's awesome. So tomorrow we will do some more polishing up, making sure it is extendable to multiple pages, multiple characters, and that it works with different types of input. And then we'll fix some of the other bugs, and then we'll try to give us some more signposts around town, and then start to implement the dialogue system with the actual NPCs. So that'll be next. But we're going to raid out here. We have not raided Falinair recently, so we'll raid out. But thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night.